Chapter 2:8 The beginning of war. While the imperial court was divided, the generals and soldiers still had to conquer. Qin Shi Bao, Cheng Zhaojian, and Luo Cheng were ordered to quell the rebellions in the unsubdued prefectures. In Henan, the bandits of Jinling Mountain set up the Black Smoke battle, using poisonous smoke to make the Tang soldiers panic. While Luo Cheng led the charge, his golden spear rotating 9 dragons scattering clouds to sweep away the smoke. In Shandong, the bandits claimed to be descendants of the Sui dynasty, establishing the Wei dynasty. Qin Shi Bao fought 300 rounds with the Wei general, and finally a spear pierced his chest, causing the bandits to fall apart. In the area north of the Yellow River, the bandits allied with evil spirits, setting up an altar to worship the ghost buffalo, the giant buffalo made of human bones. Cheng Zhaojian smashed it with 3 hammers, but was almost exhausted. 3 great victories in a row, but each battle was tinged with strangeness, as if evil spirits had not yet left the human world. Emotions intertwined. During the days of war, Nuyet Enga always followed by his side, using medical skills and archery to help. One time, when Lothan was poisoned by black smoke, she mixed her own blood with medicine and sucked the poison out of the wound. Lothan was moved, holding her hand in the quiet night. "If I fall tomorrow, don't follow me. Live." Nuyet Enga shook her head, tears glistening. "I am willing to die by your side. Living without you is worse than nothing." That feeling made the entire army camp silent. Everyone swore to live and die with their commander. Bad news arrived. The city of Luoyang had just calmed down, but before the wind could stop, bad news arrived. Du Jiandi from Jiaozhou led 70,000 troops, rushing towards Hulao to save Wang Shikang. Li Shimin heard, immediately gave the order, "If we don't stop immediately, the rear will be in chaos." Hulao is the place that decides the world. This battle must be decisive. The devils scheme in the dark the night before the battle. A cold wind blew, chilling. In the Du camp, a dark shadow appeared, the spirit of the Black Mountain Taoist. He whispered in Jiande's ear, "You should set up the blood talisman of the North Star. I will offer evil magic, causing the Tang army's souls to wander." Du Jiandi, who believed in superstition, built an altar, used the blood of cows and horses to draw the North Star on the ground, and prayed, "If I win this battle, may God let me be emperor." The blood smoked red, turning into swirling clouds above Hulao. The battle began. The next morning, the Du army rushed like a wave, their momentum soaring to the sky. The Tang army was smaller, but their morale was high. Qin Shi Bao led the cavalry to charge out, his spear unleashing the unique technique to dragons opening the clouds, cutting down dozens of enemy generals. Cheng Zhaojian carried his axe and struck 3 palaces thunder, breaking the ranks. Lothan brandished his spear like a shooting star, piercing the cavalry. Yu Kaigong slashed at Black Tiger Laishan, causing the enemy to panic. But the Du army was as numerous as ants, and they fought without stopping. Yuan Ba displayed his divine power. Li Shimin looked back, and seeing the dangerous situation, he shouted, "Yuan Ba, it's time for you to make a move." Li Yuan Ba urged his golden horse to charge out, and the 2 800-pound hammers fell like thunder. One hammer thunder, one strike, more than 100 soldiers were shattered. One hammer whined thunder, 10,000 soldiers, the ground cracked a zhang long. And the chariot rolled over. One hammer invincible in the world, the enemy general was shattered. And blood splattered like rain. The Du army was so frightened that it screamed, "That's the thunder god, not a human."
The people are on fire. Returning in triumph after the Battle of Luoyang, the Tang flag flew high. Wang Shikong was captured. The world was shocked. The soldiers cheered. The people opened the city gates, welcoming Li Shimin as the savior. La Cheng carried the blood-stained La Chengjiang back to the camp for the doctor to treat. Yu Nga was always by his bedside, not leaving him for a moment. Every night, she lit a lamp and prayed softly. "If fate has chosen you to be a hero, please let him have a family to share with." Outside, the sound of the triumphal drums echoed, but inside the tent, tears fell silently. The Tang court. In Chang'an, Li Yuan heard the news of the triumph, issued an edict praising and rewarding the meritorious officials. But in the palace, undercurrents arose. Li Jiansheng, the crown prince, feared that Li Shimin's great achievements would shake his throne. Li Yuanji, the youngest son, was jealous. often inciting urging slander. The ministers were divided into factions. Some followed Jian Cheng, some followed Shiming. The dispute was quiet and fierce. Meanwhile, on the battlefield, Li Shimin did not think about the throne, only wished for peace in the world. But history and fate did not leave anyone alone. The people were on fire. The news of victory spread throughout the region, but the people were not yet at peace. In the south, Lin Shihong declared himself emperor in Jiangnan. In the north, heroes were seizing power, and bandits were taking advantage of the chaos to multiply. Among the people, there was a rumor. The Black Mountain Taoist is not completely dead. Half of his soul is still wandering, hiding in human corpses, sowing evil seeds in the villages. The villagers were scared. Many places set up altars, praying to the gods and Buddha. Every night, people heard the sound of crying in the forest and saw the shadow of a black robe lurking. The shadow of an evil spirit. One night, La Fan dreamed that he was standing in a sea of blood. In the sky, the shadow of a half-soul, half-body Taoist named Haxan laughed. You think that after destroying Liu Yang, it's over? The blood is still flowing. The dragon is still broken. You are just a chess piece in the fateful chess game. La Fan woke up. Cold sweat soaked his back. Nuyet Nye quickly supported him, asking, "Is this a nightmare? Is the evil spirit still haunting?" La Fan squeezed her hand tightly, his eyes shining. "If there are still evil spirits, I will strike again. If fate holds me captive, I will break that fate." Hero and love. Day by day, La Chengsheng gradually recovered. During the days of recuperation, the brotherhood grew closer. One time, La Chengsheng held his hand and said weakly, "Brother, I am willing to follow you to the end, even if I die again." Nga was by his side, her eyes red, but she was secretly happy. She knew that La Cheng was no longer alone in this sea of blood.
Formation against formation. The Black Mountain Taoist was furious, and immediately set up the Big Dipper blood talisman. 7 red demons rose from the ground, turning into stars, creating a net to block Yuan Ba. Yuan Ba roared loudly. His twin hammers rotating thundercloud 9 revolutions, lightning shot out, cutting off 3 stars. Qin Cheng Wo Yukai joined forces, breaking the remaining 4 stars. The 7 stars scattered, the magic circle exploded. Black Mountain's soul screamed miserably, dissolving into nothingness, leaving only a curse. The 7 stars were shattered. The formation exploded. Black Mountain's soul screamed miserably, dissolving into nothingness, leaving only a curse. Yuan Ba. The day you use up all your divine power is the day your body will be shattered. Victory and the shadow of fate. Du Jiandi saw his army fall apart, terrified, and fled north. The Tang army won a great victory at Hula Pass. But in the camp, after the battle, Yuanba's nose bled profusely, his face pale. That night, he sat alone, looking at the red moon, and whispered, "If my life was short, at least I would have let my thunder clear the way for my brothers." Far away, Duonglu stood by the window, listening to the sound, only knowing to cry silently, knowing that this love could not have an ending. The last thunder line Nguyen Ba dies. The prophecy came true after the victory at Hulao. The Tang army advanced at lightning speed. But Nguyen Ba became weaker and weaker, every time he swung the 800-pound hammers. His blood flowed in reverse, his back bent as if about to break. Every night, hoarse coughs mixed with thunder echoed from his tent. Then Haiyan advised, "You have reached your limit, don't go into battle anymore. Once you use all your strength, your body will be crushed." Nguyen Ba just smiled. "If I die and the world is at peace, I am not afraid. I live to fight a battle for heaven and earth to remember. The great battle at Dongquan." The news, the remnants of the Sioux army and rebels joined forces at Dongquan, gathering more than 100,000, intending to cut off the Tang army's advance. Li Shimin said, "This battle must be concluded, otherwise, the world will not be at peace." The Tang army fought. Initially, it was favorable. But the enemy set up the wind and thunder formation, used bronze drums, black flags, and summoned the wind and clouds, causing the entire field to be covered in mist. The Tang army was in turmoil. Yuan Ba exploded. Yuan Ba jumped on the golden horse, roaring like thunder. "Brother, let me break this formation." He swung his two hammers. One hammer, heavenly thunder and lightning. The wind dispersed, the bronze drum shattered. One hammer, wind and cloud breaking prison. The black flags broke apart, the clouds scattered from the sky. One hammer, thunder, god of absolute death. The earth cracked open, and thousands of enemy soldiers were crushed. The Tang army cheered, calling him invincible martial god. The fateful moment, but after the last hammer strike, Yuanba's blood boiled. He vomited blood, his eyes were red. His body was shaking violently. Then Haiyantu shouted loudly from afar, "Stop! You have exceeded the mandate of heaven." But it was too late. Yuanba swung his hammer one last time. The sky thundered loudly. Lightning streaked across the sky, then his body shook violently. Only a boom was heard. His armor shattered, his bones cracked. Lai Yuanba, the invincible martial god, collapsed in the middle of the battlefield, a smile still on his lips. Elegy Song Tan Thukbao rushed forward, hugged the body, and shouted, "Nianba, you are gone. Who is still our divine general?" Cheng Zhaojin cried out. The hammer pounded the ground as if it was about to break. La then knelt down, carving Nianba's name on the tip of his spear. Yue Trikung was silent, tears rolling down his dark face. Duonglu ran from afar, saw Nianba's body, hugged it tightly, and cried, "You promised to marry me, why did you leave me?" Her cry mixed with the thunder, mournful and mournful. The immortal Tao ended. Then Haiyantu stood looking at the sky, lamenting. The thunder has exploded, the heavenly general has gone out. This is an unchangeable fate, but Nianba's righteous voice will resound forever, forming the foundation of the Tang dynasty. He threw a golden talisman to cover Nianba's body, and said to the generals, "Bury this hero in the dragon vein, so that his soul can blend with heaven and earth." That afternoon, a heavy rain fell from the sky, thunder and lightning struck incessantly, as if sending Nianba off to heaven. The Tang generals were silent, their hearts filled with an inconsolable sense of loss. They understood that from now on, no one in the world could swing the 800-pound hammers anymore.